In this section, we're going to be talking about headlines. We'll talk through headline strategies, and then after that, we'll actually finalize a headline for this blog post. So let's talk about 8 headline strategies that work. The first one I want to talk about is surprise. In President Obama's election campaign, his marketing team used the element of surprise by creating subject lines with simple greetings such as "Hey." The reason this was so successful was that people did not expect to receive such an informal, personal greeting from the future president of the United States. They didn't expect it. It caught them off guard, and therefore it encouraged them to click. And so they opened it at an amazing rate because they used the element of surprise. Another great strategy is to use questions. Questions force a reader to engage on a personal level. It brings their personal experience into it. So subject lines like, "Are you brushing your teeth wrong?" could work because it's asking a relatable question that the reader will want to answer for. So if you can think of a way to write your headline in a way that engages the reader and asks them to question something in their life, you can really get their interest and really get their attention. Another headline strategy is using curiosity. Our brains love to be curious. There's a famous headline that was in a newspaper ad years and years and years ago that said, "They laughed when I sat down at the piano, but when I started to play." That's probably the most famous, most successful headline for an ad there ever has been. And the reason why is it plays on curiosity. People want to know the ending of this story. People want to know what happens in this. And that is why it's so successful. Negativity is also another great headline strategy. That may seem surprising, but there's a real secret to why it works. In a study done by Outbrain, it says that headlines with negative statements perform 30% better than those with positive statements. The reason why negative statements can sometimes perform a lot better than positive statements is because it involves conflict, and conflict is interesting. If you've ever watched a movie, you'll notice that throughout the movie, you have a hero that's constantly battling something, that's constantly coming up against something, that's trying to overcome something. And so when you bring something negative to a reader, it's actually going to pique their interest because it's kind of conflicting. It makes them want to figure out the solution to that. How to. This is another great headline strategy. People want a sense of order and predictability in their life. So a good how-to headline and article actually gives them that. You're helping them solve a problem, and people always want their problems to be solved. Another great headline strategy that works is using numbers. In one online study done by Conductor, it revealed that headline readers like most involve numbers. Numbers make things more definite and sets our expectations correctly. For example, 21 things you need to know about visiting Europe sounds more appealing than what you should know about visiting Europe. The reason why is it's definite. It gives you a sense of how long it's going to take you to read this and also how much value you'll get for reading it. Another headline strategy that works great is audience referencing. Audience referencing means using the word "you." Before you read any article, your brain always asks the question, "What's in it for me?" It's the way we are hardwired. When we read something, the first thing we do is look for, how's this going to help me? You think about it, if you ever take a picture in a group, who's the first person you look for when you see the picture? You. That's why a "you" headline works really great. And another headline strategy that works really great is using specificity. If you can be very specific and help provide clarity to what the blog post is about, it will perform better than something that's vague and unsure. People are actually beginning to prefer descriptive headlines over curiosity gap headlines. So if you're just specific and clear, you'll actually do better than people who are spending hours and hours trying to figure out, an incredibly curiosity type headline or intriguing headline. Those can sometimes work, but if you'll just be clear, you'll probably win the game.